Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny. If you've ever come across an old penny in your change or tucked away in a collection, this could very well be your golden ticket. Yes, you heard that right. The 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny is currently valued at a staggering $7 million, making it one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in the United States. So, stay with me as we explore the history, the rarity, the identifying features, and everything you need to know about this incredible piece of history. Let's start with some background. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it featured the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse side. These coins were minted from 1909 all the way to 1958, making them a staple in American coinage. But not all wheat pennies are created equal, and the 1941 no-mint mark variety is a standout in terms of rarity and value. The year 1941 was an interesting time in American history. The country was on the brink of entering World War II, and economic conditions influenced mint production across the nation. In 1941, pennies were produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at the time, produced coins that are highly collectible today. The no-mint mark wheat penny from 1941 is particularly rare due to low survival rates in pristine condition and the high demand from collectors. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny so valuable? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and historical significance. While millions of pennies were produced in 1941, the ones that survived over 80 years in excellent condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, are exceedingly rare. Most pennies from this era show signs of circulation, worn details, scratches, and discoloration. But the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny that you see on the market today, valued at millions, is almost flawless, often graded as MS65, MS66, or even MS67 by professional grading services. These uncirculated coins showcase the full beauty of Brenner's design, with Lincoln's profile crisp and the wheat ears on the reverse side clearly defined. Let's talk about identifying this rare penny. First, look at the obverse side. You will see Abraham Lincoln's profile facing right. Pay attention to the details in his hair, the beard, and the coat. These should be sharply defined in high-grade coins. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The wheat stalks should be symmetrical and the lettering crisp. The absence of a mint mark under the date is crucial. This indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Coins with a D or S mint mark from the same year are less rare and not nearly as valuable. The market value of a 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny is simply astonishing. While common circulated examples may only be worth a few dollars, the high-grade specimens, particularly those certified by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC, are worth millions. Recently, auction records have shown that coins in MS66 or higher can fetch up to $7 million. That's right, $7 million for a single penny. This makes it not just a collector's item but a significant investment opportunity for those fortunate enough to own one. But how does a coin reach such incredible value? There are several factors at play. First is scarcity. Despite millions being minted, very few have survived in pristine condition. Second is demand. Collectors, investors, and even museums are competing for these rare coins, driving up the price. Third is historical significance. The Lincoln wheat penny represents a pivotal era in American history, the early 1940s, just before the United States entered World War II. Owning a coin like this is like holding a tangible piece of history in your hand. And lastly, condition and grading play a massive role. Even minor imperfections can reduce the value dramatically, which is why certified coins are so highly prized. Now, if you're wondering whether you might already own a 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny, here are some tips. Check your old coin jars, collections, or even loose change. While the chances of finding a perfect specimen are slim, you never know. Some coins may have been kept untouched in albums for decades, preserving their original luster. Look for coins that are exceptionally clean with sharp details and no signs of wear. If you think you might have one, it's crucial to get it professionally graded before attempting to sell. A reputable grading service will verify its authenticity and condition, which can mean the difference of millions of dollars in value. Collectors often ask, what should they look for in terms of grading? Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect condition. Most 1941 no-mint mark wheat pennies in the market today are graded MS65 to MS67, meaning they are virtually flawless. Any imperfections, scratches, or discoloration will significantly lower the value. So handle your coins with care, always hold them by the edges, avoid touching the surfaces, and store them in protective holders. Another interesting aspect is the rarity compared to other years. The 1941 no-mint mark is considered rarer than many other common wheat pennies because of the survival rate and the fact that most Philadelphia coins from that year were circulated extensively. In contrast, Denver and San Francisco coins, while collectible, do not reach the same astronomical values. Let's talk a little about the historical context. In 1941, the United States was preparing for the possibility of entering World War II. Metal resources were becoming increasingly important, and coins were an essential part of everyday commerce. Lincoln pennies were a symbol of stability and continuity, making them widely used and cherished. Fast forward to today, and these coins serve as a bridge to the past, connecting us to a time when pennies like these were not just money, but pieces of American culture and history. For those interested in investing, owning a 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than just collecting. It's a financial asset. Rare coins, especially those with historical significance and low supply, have consistently appreciated over time. The 1941 penny is a prime example. Its value has skyrocketed as collectors and investors recognize its rarity and importance. Some collectors view it as a hedge against inflation, while others see it as a way to preserve history in a tangible form. Now, let's dive into some tips for potential buyers and collectors. First, always buy from reputable sources. Auctions, certified dealers, and grading services are your safest bet. Second, familiarize yourself with coin grading terminology. Knowing the difference between MS65 and MS66 can save you thousands or even millions of dollars. Third, learn to spot counterfeits. Unfortunately, ultra-rare coins like the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny are sometimes targeted by counterfeiters. Look for inconsistencies in the design, weight, and metal composition. If in doubt, have it authenticated by a professional. Collectors also love the story behind each coin. Every penny has traveled through decades of hands, from cash registers to pocket change, surviving wear and tear, and now potentially sitting in a collection worth millions. Imagine holding it in your hand, the copper glinting under the light, Lincoln's face staring back at you, and the wheat ears perfectly detailed on the reverse side. This is not just a coin. It's a symbol of history, rarity, and immense value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer, the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny is a dream come true. So, what's the takeaway? The 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny is one of the rarest, most valuable coins in American numismatics. Its history, rarity, and condition make it a prized possession for collectors worldwide. With a current market value of $7 million, it's not just a coin. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you have one, treasure it. If you don't, keep an eye out in old coin collections or change. You never know where the next rare penny might appear. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history, rarity, and incredible coin value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunt. And remember, the next penny you pick up from your pocket or jar could be the one worth millions. Stay curious, keep collecting, and who knows, your next coin could make history. Welcome back, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history enthusiasts. Today, we are diving into a coin that has captured the attention of numismatists, investors, and collectors alike. It's a coin with a fascinating story, a coin that is extremely rare, a coin that could make you a millionaire overnight. I'm talking about the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny, a coin that is not just a piece of copper but a piece of history, a story of the era of World War II, and a treasure that every collector dreams of finding. If you've ever wondered how much a single penny could be worth, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be astounded by the value, the rarity, and the incredible history behind this amazing coin. The 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is often referred to as one of the rarest and most sought-after Lincoln cents in the world. While most pennies from that era were produced in enormous quantities, this particular coin stands out due to a unique and fascinating twist in its production. To fully understand why this penny is so valuable today, we need to travel back in time to the early 1940s, when the world was at war and the United States Mint was working tirelessly to supply coins for everyday commerce. During World War II, copper was a critical material for the war effort. Shell casings, wiring, and other military essentials required large quantities of copper. To preserve copper for the war, the U.S. Mint decided in 1943 to produce pennies from steel coated with zinc. These steel cents were meant to be temporary, a solution to conserve copper for the war. In 1943, millions of these steel pennies were minted, but as the war progressed, copper again became available. By 1944, the mint returned to copper pennies. Most of these 1944 pennies were struck using recycled copper from spent shell casings, which gave the coin its characteristic brown appearance. They were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why they carry no mint mark, at the Denver Mint with a D mint mark, and at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark. Millions of these coins were produced, making the common 1944 penny not very valuable. But the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny that we are talking about today is far from ordinary. So what makes this penny so special? The 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is part of a very small number of coins struck from leftover 1943 steel planchets by accident. Essentially, these pennies were made on steel planchets instead of copper, creating a rare error coin that is extremely difficult to find. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist in the world, which is why collectors are willing to pay enormous sums for them. The rarity of the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is what drives its market value, which can reach over $1 million in top condition. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that represents a historical mistake, a rare anomaly that could turn into a fortune. That is exactly what makes collecting coins like the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny so exciting. It's not just a piece of metal. It's a story, a connection to the past, and a potential treasure. Now, let's talk about the appearance of this coin. At first glance, it looks very much like a regular 1944 penny. It has Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse, facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" arched above his head. The word "Liberty" appears to his left, and the date 1944 is clearly stamped below. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the wheat ears design, which was used on pennies from 1909 to 1958. On this particular error penny, the metal composition is different. While a normal 1944 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the error coin is composed primarily of steel with a thin copper coating, a remnant of the 1943 steel pennies. This subtle difference in the metal is what makes it stand out to sharp-eyed collectors and experts. But spotting this coin isn't easy. You can't just find it in your pocket change. It's so rare that even experienced collectors and dealers may go years without encountering one. If you ever find a penny that seems unusual, it is crucial to have it authenticated by a professional grading service. Mistaking a regular 1944 penny for this rare error could cost someone millions in lost opportunity. The grading process involves examining the coin's metal composition, weight, color, and even microscopic details that distinguish it from common pennies. Certified coins can fetch six-figure to seven-figure prices at auctions and private sales. Speaking of auctions, the history of this coin in the market is fascinating. Over the past few decades, 1944 no-mint mark wheat pennies have occasionally surfaced in private collections and auctions, sending shockwaves through the numismatic community. When one of these pennies appeared at a major auction, collectors from around the world bid fiercely for it. Prices skyrocketed from hundreds of thousands of dollars to over $1 million. The allure of owning a coin that could potentially change your financial life forever is what fuels this intense demand. Many collectors view the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny not just as an investment, but as a legacy piece. Owning one of these coins is like holding a piece of American history in your hands. It tells a story of wartime scarcity, of human error, and of the intricate workings of the U.S. Mint. For coin enthusiasts, it's a crown jewel in any collection, and its value will likely continue to increase over time due to its rarity and historical significance. Now, you might be wondering about the current market value of the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny. As of 2025, coins in pristine, high-grade condition can sell for over $1 million. Even coins with minor wear can fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars. The value depends on factors like condition, rarity, provenance, and authentication. Coins that are well-preserved, with sharp details and no corrosion, are particularly prized. For collectors, investing in coins like the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just about money. It's about passion and the thrill of discovery. Imagine walking into a coin shop, leafing through rolls of pennies, and suddenly spotting a coin that could be worth a small fortune. The excitement, the rush, and the anticipation are experiences that only collectors understand. But how do you increase your chances of finding a rare coin like this? First, educate yourself. Learn the differences in minting years, materials, and mint marks. Second, check every penny you receive in change. While the odds of finding a $1 million penny are incredibly slim, you never know when a rare coin might appear. Third, connect with reputable coin dealers and auction houses. Building relationships in the numismatic community can open doors to acquiring rare and valuable coins, sometimes even before they hit the general market. It's also important to remember that not every 1944 penny is valuable. Millions were minted, and most are worth only a few cents. The key is the no-mint mark error and the metal composition, which sets the rare coins apart from the common ones. Expert authentication is critical to ensure you're not dealing with a replica or a manipulated coin. The risk is high, but the potential reward is life-changing. Collectors often share fascinating stories about their experiences with rare coins. Some have inherited collections from family members, discovering hidden treasures that have been sitting in jars or boxes for decades. Others have bought old rolls of pennies at auctions or flea markets, hoping to uncover something extraordinary. These stories highlight the magic of coin collecting, the blend of history, luck, and careful observation that can turn an ordinary penny into a fortune. The 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny also has a symbolic value. It represents the resilience and ingenuity of the United States during World War II. Even in a time of scarcity and global conflict, the mint continued to produce coins for everyday Americans, ensuring that commerce and daily life could continue. Owning such a coin is a way to connect with that historical period, a tangible link to the past that tells a story far beyond its monetary value. So what should you do if you think you found a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny? First, handle it carefully. Avoid touching the surfaces, as oils and dirt from your fingers can damage the coin and reduce its value. Second, take high-resolution photos and note any distinguishing features. Third, contact a reputable coin grading and authentication service. Experts will examine the coin, determine its authenticity, and provide a grade that can significantly affect its market value. Once authenticated, you can consider selling it through an auction house, a private sale, or keeping it as part of your personal collection. In conclusion, the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of history, a testament to rarity, and a potential path to life-changing wealth. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most remarkable and highly sought-after coins in American numismatic history, the 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny. If you've ever dreamed of finding a coin in your pocket change that could completely change your life, then pay very close attention because what we're about to explore is truly extraordinary. The 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny is not just a coin. It's a piece of history, a collector's dream, and, believe it or not, a coin that could be worth up to $4 million today. That's right, for $1 million. Now, before we get into the jaw-dropping market value, let's take a step back and understand what makes this coin so special, starting with its history. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it became the first American coin to feature a president's portrait. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic 2 stalks of wheat, which gives it the nickname Wheat Penny. This design remained in circulation until 1958, making the Wheat Penny one of the longest-running cent designs in U.S. history. The 1946 Wheat Penny holds a particularly unique place in history. Coming right after World War II, the United States was in a period of transition, moving from wartime production to peacetime prosperity. Pennies from this era were struck in large numbers, but here's the catch. The no-mint mark version was produced only at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco, which carry a D or S mint mark, coins from Philadelphia typically do not have a mint mark at all. This may seem ordinary at first glance, but in reality, the absence of a mint mark on certain high-grade coins can significantly increase their rarity and, ultimately, their value. Collectors and numismatists are particularly interested in 1946 no-mint mark wheat pennies in mint state condition, meaning they show no wear and have retained their original luster. You see, while millions of 1946 pennies were minted, the majority were circulated and naturally accumulated wear over the decades. This makes high-grade, uncirculated examples incredibly scarce. A coin in pristine condition, showing no scratches, no discoloration, and a perfectly sharp strike, is a true gem. So why is this coin so valuable? Beyond its historical significance and rarity, there is an element of excitement and speculation in the coin collecting community that drives the value even higher. In recent years, the 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny has been recognized not only as a rare collectible but as an investment asset. Collectors who can secure one of these coins in top condition have seen their value skyrocket, and as of today, the current market value of a high-grade example is around $4 million. That's right, a single penny, smaller than your fingernail, could be worth enough to buy a luxury car, a house, or even start a small business. Now, let's talk about identifying a genuine 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny. For beginners, this can be tricky because coins can be counterfeited, altered, or cleaned to artificially increase their grade. A real 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny should have the classic Lincoln portrait on the obverse side, facing right, with the word Liberty on the left and the date 1946 on the right. On the reverse side, you will see 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The coin should have a coppery brown tone, although some may display a natural red or reddish-brown patina depending on storage conditions over the decades. Collectors often look for coins that exhibit what is called a full strike, meaning the details of Lincoln's hair, the wheat stalks, and the inscriptions are crisp and well-defined. Coins that were weakly struck during production or that have circulated heavily tend to lose value dramatically. That's why finding a 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny in mint condition is so rare and exciting. Another factor that contributes to its astronomical value is provenance. Coins that have been preserved in original packaging, such as rolls from the mint, or that have been certified by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch even higher prices. The grading system assigns coins a number from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny graded at MS 65 or higher can easily command millions in private sales and auctions. It's also fascinating to consider the historical context of 1946. Post-war America was experiencing an economic boom, and coins like the wheat penny were a part of daily life. People would have been using these coins for everyday transactions, completely unaware that decades later, some of these very pennies would become priceless artifacts. The story of the 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny is not just about money. It's about history, culture, and the human experience during that era. Every coin tells a story, and owning one is like holding a tangible piece of the past in your hand. Now, if you happen to have a 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny sitting in your collection, a jar, or even loose change, here's what you need to do. First, avoid cleaning it. Cleaning coins, especially valuable ones, can destroy their patina and decrease their value. Second, consider having it professionally graded. A certification can not only confirm its authenticity but also help establish its market value, which is crucial if you plan to sell or insure it. Third, keep it safe. Store it in a protective holder or coin capsule in a cool, dry environment to prevent oxidation or damage. Let's also discuss the excitement around auctions and private sales for these coins. When a 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny in perfect condition hits the auction block, bidding can become incredibly intense. Collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts often compete fiercely, driving the price up dramatically. There have been cases where multiple millionaires have bid on a single coin, demonstrating just how high the stakes are in the world of rare coin collecting. The thrill of owning something so rare and valuable cannot be overstated. In addition to its monetary value, the 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny also holds educational and cultural significance. It is used by historians and numismatists to study minting techniques, post-war economic conditions, and even the behavior of collectors and investors over time. Some people collect coins not just for profit but to preserve history, and this coin is a perfect example of why. It bridges the gap between a simple, everyday object and an extraordinary historical artifact. Many collectors dream of the day they stumble upon a coin like this, perhaps in an old coin jar, a family collection, or even loose change in a drawer. Imagine opening a box of pennies, and there it is, a 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny in mint condition. It's the kind of discovery that instantly makes headlines, and in the numismatic world, it's the ultimate jackpot. Finally, let's talk about the potential for future value. Coins like the 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny are finite. They were minted in specific quantities, and each year that passes, fewer of them survive in perfect condition. This scarcity, combined with increasing collector interest and the coin's historical significance, means that their value is likely to continue rising. Owning one today is not just owning a coin. It's owning an appreciating asset, a piece of history, and a symbol of American heritage. In conclusion, the 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than just a penny. It is a historical artifact, an investment, and a treasure that could change your life. With a current market value of $4 million, it represents the ultimate collector's dream. If you happen to come across one, treat it with care, have it professionally graded, and understand the incredible significance of what you hold in your hands. This coin is a bridge to the past, a story of post-war America, and a rare chance for someone to own a true piece of numismatic history. So, check your old collections, jars, drawers, and even loose change. You never know, you might be holding the key to unimaginable fortune and a direct link to American history. The 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny is not just a coin. It's a legend, and today you've learned everything you need to know about it. Stay tuned for more videos on rare coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures that could change your life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the next rare coin discovery. Thank you for watching, and remember, every coin has a story. What story could your coin tell? Today's video is going to open your eyes to one of the most surprising rare pennies in American coin history, the 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny, a coin that most people ignore, yet today it carries an unbelievable current market value of $8 million for the finest known example. This is not a joke, not an exaggeration, but a true story about how a simple 1-cent coin, made of copper, became one of the most sought-after treasures among coin collectors, investors, and rare coin hunters around the world. So stay with me as we go deep into the history, hidden secrets, coin errors, grading, value factors, and the shocking reasons why this penny skyrocketed to such an incredible price. This is your chance to learn everything about the 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny and discover whether you might have one hiding in your old jars, drawers, pocket change, or family coin collections. Let's begin with the historical background. The year was 1948, just 3 years after World War II ended. America was rebuilding itself, industries were growing, copper supplies were stabilizing, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins once again. The wheat penny had already been in circulation for almost 4 decades at that point, having been first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Throughout the early 20th century, these wheat pennies were the backbone of American commerce, passing through millions of hands every single day. When 1948 arrived, the Philadelphia Mint continued producing no-mint mark pennies just as it had done for decades. However, what makes the 1948 no-mint mark penny stand out is not just its age, but the extremely rare combination of condition, early dye state, metal purity, and minting details found in only a tiny handful of surviving coins. Millions were made that year, but almost all of them were heavily circulated. People used pennies constantly. Kids spent them on candy, adults used them for bus fares, and store owners kept huge piles of them in registers. But somewhere among those millions of pennies, a few were struck so perfectly, preserved so carefully, and maintained so flawlessly that over 70 years later they became miracle survivors in almost untouched condition. These ultra-high-grade examples are what command jaw-dropping values today. And the highest known surviving 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny is the one that hit an unbelievable $8 million at a private auction, shocking the whole coin collecting community. Now let's talk about the design and features of the 1948 wheat penny, because understanding these details is important if you want to identify whether your own coin might be special. On the front of the coin you have the profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right, a portrait designed by Victor David Brenner. Above him is the word Liberty, and to the right is the date, 1948. Because it was minted in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark under the date. On the reverse side you have two wheat stalks along the left and right edges, symbolizing American agriculture. In the center are the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum along the top. This classic, iconic design is one of the most loved in American numismatics. But the real magic of the 1948 penny comes from the quality of the strike. The $8 million example is so sharp and crisp that you can see microscopic details in Lincoln's hair, beard, and clothing. The lines in the wheat stalks on the back are perfectly defined. The rims are fully rounded. The coin glows with original mint luster, meaning the surface shine created by the minting process remained intact for more than 7 decades. This level of preservation is so rare that only one known example exists in such condition. Now let's move deeper into the story and talk about why this penny became so valuable. It starts with the grading system. Coins are graded using the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor 1 all the way to mint state 70, which means perfect condition. Most 1948 pennies found today range from good to fine condition, meaning they're worn, scratched, and circulated heavily. Even uncirculated examples exist, but they are usually mint state 60 to 64. Only a few reach mint state 65 or higher, and those are already valuable. But the record-breaking penny reached an almost impossible grade assigned by professional graders, placing it in the elite category of the finest known coins in the world. Collectors love rarity, and nothing is more valuable than a coin that is the absolute best of its kind. With millions of collectors around the world and new investors entering the coin market every year, demand for extremely rare pieces surged dramatically. High-net-worth collectors compete aggressively in private auctions, and the rarest coins become status symbols, historical artifacts, and investment pieces. That is exactly what happened with the 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny. Now, another huge reason for its value is survival rate. Even though millions were minted, only a tiny number survived in top-grade condition. Many were melted, lost, damaged, cleaned, scratched, or simply worn down through years of circulation. Only collectors who stored uncirculated rolls or those who saved them accidentally preserved the few that still survive today. And remember, the $8 million example is not just uncirculated. It is pristine, with flawless surfaces and perfect luster. But that's not all. The 1948 wheat penny is also tied to one of the most interesting transitions in U.S. mint history. During the mid-1940s, pennies were made from steel because copper was needed for the war. Once the war ended, the mint returned to copper alloy. Many collectors became fascinated with post-war pennies, and 1948 became one of the key dates due to its subtle variations, high dye quality, and excellent mint craftsmanship. Now let's discuss error varieties, because some 1948 pennies have mint errors that increase value. These include off-center strikes, double dyes, clipped planchets, and die cracks. A dramatic off-center strike or a strong double die can easily raise the value into thousands of dollars or more. Error collectors love these unusual mistakes because they show the minting process going wrong. If you have a 1948 penny, here are the signs to look for that could make it extremely valuable. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair and beard, strong luster across the surface, clean fields with no scratches or wear, and deep, rich copper color. If the wheat lines on the reverse are clear and visible all the way to the tips, that is another sign of a high-grade strike. Never clean the coin because cleaning destroys its natural surface and instantly reduces the value by 90% or more. Let's talk about the market. Rare coins have become one of the strongest alternative investments in recent years. Collectors, investors, and even everyday people have been buying rare pennies because their values continue to rise. The $8 million sale sparked nationwide interest in wheat pennies from the 1940s and 1950s, causing prices to surge across the entire series. Many ordinary people who found old coins in their homes suddenly realized they might be holding hidden treasures. Now let's dive deeper into why such coins can sell for millions. Coin collecting is driven by supply and demand, rarity and condition. A coin with only one or two surviving examples in top condition becomes a dream piece for collectors. When wealthy bidders compete, prices skyrocket. And that is exactly what happened with the top-grade 1948 penny. It became the ultimate trophy coin in a bidding war that pushed the price into the millions. Let's imagine the journey of this remarkable penny. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1948, likely during a time when the dies were new and sharp. It came fresh off the press, glowing with copper luster. But instead of entering circulation, someone saved it immediately. Maybe it was pulled from a mint set, maybe it was kept in a collection, maybe it was forgotten in a bank envelope. For decades it remained untouched, stored in perfect condition, while millions of other pennies were worn down or tossed aside. Decades later, a collector rediscovered it, sent it for grading, and the coin shocked experts with its flawless surfaces. Soon word spread that the finest known 1948 penny had been found, and the bidding wars began. Eventually it sold for $8 million, setting a new record for that date. Now let's talk about how you can check your own 1948 pennies. Look at the date carefully. Make sure there is no mint mark under the 1948. Then check the details. Use a magnifying glass or a bright light. Look for signs of wear. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Even moderately uncirculated examples can be worth dozens or even hundreds of dollars today. If you think your coin is special, you can send it to a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC.